Hello, hey, welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who are watching my blogs, sorry dudes, I've had too much to do, so I had to down prioritize the vlogging for a while. However, I kind of wanted to make like a spontaneous video about this camera, the Red Scarlet-W. I just came home from a feature film shoot where I was the photographer. There were two crazy Americans wanting to do something crazy in Sweden. We filmed out on an island close to where I live, and that's may not be the best idea when it's November. However, we were very blessed and had good weather every day, which was very fortunate. I got the opportunity to borrow a Red camera for the shoot. This camera belongs to my colleagues at the Street Studios who I work with sometimes. My main camera is an FX9, some of you already know, and my overall thoughts about the FX9 is that it is a very simple camera to operate. It does everything you need, and it's a reliable camera. I've almost had it for a year, so it's soon time for the 1 year review, which I can tell you more about this camera. However, sometimes I feel like the image is a little bit synthetic or plasticky or toyish. However, I'm not sure if there is something I do behind the camera or in post that make it look that way. I'm kind of nitpicking now. I'm overall very happy with whatever footage I capture from this camera, but there's just something I imagine in my head that a real proper cinema camera might have a more organic quality to it. So I've always been interested in testing a proper cinema camera and see whether I like the image or whether it's just me imagining all this. The guys over at Street Studios, they have upgraded to a Komodo kit, and they want to get rid of this camera, and I might be a potential buyer. So since this is a proper cinema camera, why not use it on a feature film and really test it out? I struggled with it a little bit in the beginning. I was kind of frustrated the first day because I couldn't get the screen to work, and I got like error and all kinds of stuff, and I was just thinking, oh my god, this camera is stupid. However, it was all user error. The first couple of days I used it a lot. I still use the FX9. I had the FX9 as a B camera, and I have my autofocus lenses, so if there's like a tricky long tracking focus shot, I always use the FX9, but for more steady shots I could use the Red camera. Unfortunately, it doesn't come with a PL mount, or it didn't came with a PL mount, so I used my Nikon Samyang VDSLR lenses on it. Unfortunately, it's not the most secure connection, and I don't like that at all. However, I put the follow focus very tight on it, and it worked. My initial thoughts would be, oh nice, I have a 7-inch display, it's gonna be so easy to pull focus on it. However, that wasn't really true. The resolution of the 7-inch Red screen it's pretty poor, so the image is quite large but the resolution is quite low, so I was never absolutely secure if I had it in focus or not. And it took me like 2 days before I found how to get focus peaking working. I now know, but it was kind of convoluted to get there. I thought that the red menu and everything would be very easy to use, but I think it's overly complicated. Same as you, guy, you know. But after a while, I started to understand everything. And by the fourth day, I had an improper shutdown of the camera. I was running for extra batteries, and when I came back, the battery had died on it. And after that, the memory card stopped working. And we just shot the end scene of the movie, which was a super complicated shot, and we would have never been able to reshoot that. So I had a minor heart attack when that happened. And I just put the red camera away, switched it out for the FX9. I had the same frame, the same subject, the same everything, and just kept on shooting. And when I got home to the computer, I had both the scenes, the beginning of the scene shot with the red and the rest of the scene shot with the FX9. And I could see very quickly that the images were very similar. When I look at the screen, when I shoot it, I can see that it's a little bit better image, like just a little bit. It has a certain quality to it that the Sony camera doesn't have, but generally the images looked very similar. And I tweaked the red a little bit to match the FX9, and they looked pretty much the same. It was a little bit more organic, and the FX9 camera was a little bit more poppy. It was a little bit sharper. The colors were a little bit more saturated, but going between them after color grading, I don't think anyone would able to tell the difference. I did a quick shoot here, just both of the cameras with the same lens, just to show you how similar the images are, or unsimilar. It's a matter of taste, I guess. So let's take a look at it. Since the FX9 is a full frame camera, I just want to shoot it once in full frame mode so you see the difference between the sensor sizes. I also found out that the FX9 is brighter when exposed with the same aperture and ISO. So I had to bring the ISO down on the FX9. I might also add that this is shot in S-Log3, S-Gamut.Cine and IPP2 Red RAW. Now we have about the same exposure in the shots. You can see that the skin tones favor reds a little bit more in the FX9, and the red camera is a little bit more green, which I like. I don't like to see all these pink spots in the face. I rather have them more shifted to green. So let's do that. Now they match pretty well. I guess there are other tests that one can do and find more differences, but this was a little fun test just to show you guys. After the camera had a mental breakdown, I stopped using it. However, we didn't lose any footage, everything was still on the memory card. I went over to the FX9 and I shot the rest of the film with it. I am very used to that system. We didn't have a lot of time. I have a lot of good lenses for it, and I have a lot of zoom lenses for it, and it was very important for us to get shots down quickly. So that kind of helped me. I know when I'm looking at the screen whether it's in focus or not. Even if it's this small screen, I still know. On this, I was a little bit worried all the time. I I'm gonna continue to shoot with it and see if it might be a buy for me. However, one thing that was positive about them being so similar is that you can actually use them as a B camera and pretty much get the same image. And right now I have the FS7, which I'm shooting on now, as my B camera for that. I think this one will be easier. So that's something to think about. Alright, see you next time.